Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a modern bank. This tutorial is made in 3 parts. This first part will focus on the entire outside building of the bank. Part 2, we will make the entire inside of the bank. And part 3, we will make an armoured vehicle so that we can transfer money to and fro the bank. I will leave a link for each part of the tutorial in the description. But without any further ado, let's get started. This is the amount of space required to make your bank. And here are all of the materials that we will use throughout this part of the build. Begin by placing 12 grey concrete in a row on the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then place a row of 5 chiselled quartz. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then place another row of 12 grey concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then extend backwards by 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Then all we have to do is extend all the way across the back of the build, and the idea is that we will connect to the front of the build, so we don't really have to count any of this out. We can just stretch over, connect it forwards, and we will end up with this rectangular shape right here. With the outline of the bank complete, we can now start adding in details. So the first thing that we want to lay out is where all of the windows and stuff will go on the front of the bank. Begin on the front left hand corner here and count to the right and find the 4th grey concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4. Place a pillar quartz in front. Then do that once more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Place a pillar quartz. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Place a pillar quartz. Then place a pillar quartz on the opposite end of this chiseled quartz here, and then do the exact same thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, pillar quartz. 1, 2, 3, 4, pillar quartz. And if we have a look at it, this should be balanced nicely on each side. Whilst we are here, we will extend the corner of the bank up. So we want to take the front left hand corner of the bank and place 8 more grey concrete on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And just for now, we are going to extend it all the way over to the right. The top of the bank isn't necessarily all grey concrete, but it'll kind of just give us a nice shape to work with later on. But that is it for the front of the bank right now, because I want to take care of all of the other details on the other sides because there aren't too many, and then we can focus on the front, which is the main attraction. So on the front of the bank, or rather the right side of the bank, we want to come towards the front and place this sequence of blocks. So we want to place 2 grey concrete on top of this first grey concrete here that extends back, so 1, 2. We then want to extend to the right by 1, and then place 2 light blue stained glass. 1, 2. Place 4 grey concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 2 glass. 1, 2. Place 2 grey concrete. 1, 2. And then 2 glass. 1, 2. Place 3 grey concrete. 1, 2, 3. And then 2 glass. 1, 2. And then lastly, we should be able to place 2 grey concrete and then just join down. Well, from here, we want to extend across the back of the building. We're just taking this upper grey concrete block again, and we'll place 4 more extending across. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 glass. 1, 2. Now, believe it or not, that's pretty much it. So all we have to do is extend up every single glass, just like this, right? just like that. Then, if you extend the top corners of the bank backwards and join them down to the opposite corners on the back of the build, then this will actually give us kind of like a perfect shape for the building of the bank. This is pretty much like the outer walls. And once we have kind of just penciled these in using grey concrete, all we will have to do from here is just fill in the left, back and right sides of the walls in using grey concrete. Next, we are going to raise up these quartz pillars that we have on the front of the build all the way up, and we want to raise them as high as the grey concrete, and then they actually want to be one row higher. So they're just going to stick out of the top, but it's not going to remain like this for long, because once we have raised up every single one of these, we want to place smooth quartz stairs in between the overhanging row of pillar quartz up at the top here, just like this. So connect them all together and then extend the smooth quartz stairs backwards along the top of the grey concrete. So we are going to have the smooth quartz stairs hang over the front, and we'll make them overhang the back of the build as well, just by one row, but along the sides they just want to sit on top of the grey concrete area. Perfect, and then all we're going to do from here is add a layer of smooth quartz slabs that just borders all the way around the top edge of this. So it's just going to add a little bit more depth, it's just going to make it look a little bit more interesting, and well, I mean, do you need any other reason to do it than that? On the front of the build, there is some glass, but there is also grey concrete. So on the left and right sides, you'll notice that we have these two areas in between the pillar quartz. Well, we just want to fill the two areas in using grey concrete, just top to bottom. And the end result will look like this. So from here, we want to add some grey concrete behind the two inward pillars, but we don't want to place any more than that. And then we want to make the centre row inside of the grey concrete light blue stained glass, and then either side of it light blue stained glass pane. So this is going all the way from the bottom all the way up to the top. The inside of the bank building is quite high in some places, so it just kind of gives like a nice grander sort of feel having it this way, and it looks pretty good from the outside. It adds an extra layer of texture, and we actually want to raise up the windows so that they come all the way up to the very top of the bank. So that means that we just have to knock out this row of grey concrete. You might remember me saying earlier that grey doesn't necessarily go all the way to the top, and this is the end result of that. So this is a bit of a random thing to mark out now, but I want to do it anyway. So left and right of the window sections, we have an ATM. So we're marking this out by placing an upside down smooth quartz stairs just right in the middle of this area, leaving a gap above, and then placing a smooth quartz stair like this. And we're going to do this on the opposite side also, and this will just help mark out that little detail for later. Moving on to the entrance of the bank, close to where the ATMs are, we want to take this inward pillar quartz and place a row of 3 smooth quartz stairs extending forwards, and they're sideways like this, 1, 2, 3. We place a quartz pillar on the end and extend that up by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now extending across from this, we place 3 upside down smooth quartz stairs, 1, 2, and 3. Place a quartz pillar on the end, and we want to raise that up to be as high as the one opposite here. So we also want to place a row of 5 chiseled quartz block. We can simply line it up with that row that we have just over there, and then we actually want to mirror what we've just made. So we'll place a row of quartz pillar extending up to the right to be as high as the opposite pillars, then 3 upside down smooth quartz stairs, 1, 2, 3 extending across, and then another row of quartz pillar extending up, and then connecting to the back we want to place another row of smooth quartz stairs. Then we can fill the inside of this in using chiseled quartz. And from here we just want to make a little bit of an entrance. So to do this, we are going to place a row of chiseled quartz extending forward, so from that row of 5 that we have. We then want to place smooth quartz stairs extending from the 3 center blocks and then flare them left and right on these sides like this. So it just gives a nice interesting effect. And from here, this is really simple to do. We simply want to, and we actually do have to do something else, but anyway, we want to place a smooth quartz slab, right, extending along the side of this side pillar, extend it all the way back like this, and then you want to extend it 1 row forwards, and then you want to extend it in and up and 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 in and up. We'll get there eventually. And one more time, in and up, extending all the way up like this, right? So the reason that we stop there is because this is actually the center point. And if we do the same thing on this opposite side, you'll see that. So we place the row of smooth quartz slabs extending towards the back of the bank, extend forwards, and then in and up, in and up, in and up. And eventually we will connect to the opposite side of where we were just building, just like this. So this is absolutely perfect. And we are also going to connect the quartz pillars together just at the front here. So just along the top, we'll just connect all of those pillars together, just like so. And then behind this empty space, so this is where things get ever so slightly tricky. We want to place chiseled quartz block behind and above where we just placed the chiseled, or where we just placed the smooth quartz slab. So can you see it kind of like sits in and back? It might be a bit easier to build up some of the roof for this first, to kind of slot this in. This is going to require a little bit of give and take, but it should connect rather nicely. So the chiseled quartz will just sit underneath and inside of the space quite nicely, like so. The only thing that you will have to do is just add in all of these slabs. So unfortunately, or fortunately, because it does add a little bit more texture, you will have some chiseled quartz in the roof. just every other sort of block like so. And there's nothing wrong with that. It actually looks alright. I mean, you don't actually even have to have it for the most part, I don't think. So if we just build up the roof, that'll actually tell us more about it. Like, so I guess we don't even have to... Oh, I guess we don't have to have any chiseled quartz, but you could add some actually, because I did kind of like the texture there. But so you don't actually have to have any, you just have to extend the relevant blocks backwards, and this is going to take a little bit of time and experimentation. Make sure to check for any gaps just underneath the roof here, and that is absolutely perfect, I do believe. So the other thing that we may want to do is just if we come inside of the bank, we are preferably not going to want to see any of this stuff. So my personal preference would be to maybe add some chiseled quartz just in kind of like a flat area here, just to kind of like connect everything together so that we have just like a nice flat surface. Just like this, so from the underside, and oh, we can't actually, so we can't alter that, and that's perfectly fine. I don't know whether I've just messed things up there. No, that's perfectly fine. So we can smooth that out, and then on the inside here we can add some grey concrete just to kind of conceal all of this. That's perfect. And then on the inside we should probably... I just want to remove, so I just want to add a row of grey concrete like here specifically, and we can always tackle this when we do actually make the inside, just because that looked, that just didn't look quite as clean, but these upper parts don't actually bother me. But that is pretty much the front for the most part. Now, one last little detail that I would recommend adding is just above these ATMs, extend these slabs across, and then up, and then add an extra row in front, and then you could even wrap them round like this if you like. And it just adds a nice little overhang for the people that use ATMs. Usually there's like a little bit of cover for them, so I think that that makes it just look a little bit better and a little bit more so planned out. We can actually finish making the ATMs themselves, so basically we want to have a 1x1 painting in between these two stairs, doesn't really matter which it is, and then an activator rail on top of the upside down stair, and above it an item frame with a diamond in it. There we go, that's pretty much all there is to it, and we want to do the exact same thing over on the opposite side here, so that is such a weird coincidence that that is the same painting, and we want to have the exact same thing on both sides. So that looks great, but that isn't the end of what we have to do out here in terms of detail. We have to add the sign. So the sign is first of all going to say bank in big black letters on white banners, and the first letter in bank is B, so that's a vertical row of black dye on the left side of a white banner that we have just put into a loom. I realised that I didn't actually say any of that, so throw down a loom, open it up, place a white banner in there with some black dye, and the first pattern that we want to place is the vertical row of black on the left side, then a vertical row of black on the right, grab that, put that back in, and then a horizontal row across the top, through the middle, and then along the bottom. That's the first letter, B. The next is A, so that's a vertical row of black on the left, the right, horizontal on the top, and then straight through the middle, A. Next would be N, so this is a vertical row of black on the left, the right side, and then a diagonal row top left corner to bottom right corner. And last but not least, we want K, so that's a vertical row of black on the left side, and then two diagonal rows. Literally both of the diagonal rows, and then that will be B. But we aren't quite finished. We have to add something a little bit interesting. We're actually going to add like a dollar sign. So this is a white banner with some yellow dye, and the first thing that we want to do is add a horizontal row of yellow along the top, the bottom, diagonal, top left corner to bottom right corner, put white dye in there and add the border around the edge of it, grab the banner, put it back in with some yellow dye, and we want the vertical row of yellow straight up the middle. and then that kind of gives us a really nice sign, and it sits perfectly above the chiseled quartz here and along the top of the smooth quartz slab. So B-A-N-K and then the little dollar sign, which I just think looks really nice. Perfect. Another little bit of detail that we have to add is the actual bank door. So we're going to add light blue glass along the inside of the grey concrete on the left and right of this empty space, and then some light blue glass paint extending inwards like this, and then end rods on both sides just suspended kind of like one row off of the ground, and that's perfect. Now, last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to make the inside floor of the bank chiseled quartz. This kind of connects nicely with the floor that we have outside. We are going to make the roof quartz bricks. We are then going to turn our attention to the outside of the bank. So first of all, we will add a border hedge all the way around the outside of the building. This is going to be made using oak leaves. Then we are going to add sea lanterns underneath the upside down quartz stairs that we have just beside the main entrance ramp at the front of the bank. Once that's complete, we are going to add smooth stone pathway leading around from the ATMs, which also connect to the two side entrances, and in front of the actual main entrance ramp as well. And then we're going to take all of the remaining area inside the grid, which there shouldn't be too much and it should just be on the front, and we're going to replace that grass block using lime terracotta and green terracotta in a nice 1-to-1 blend. And that is this part of the tutorial complete. I hope that you've enjoyed it. Please do remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and check the description below for any parts of this tutorial that you may not have made yet. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.